Harbor Freight starting the year off right with dropping a few bombshells here as far as new tools. So we're going to go through all the new tools that just got announced this month, as well as some of the clearance items, and then we're going to have a talk about sales coming up. So let's jump into it. The first one is the one all the Hercules guys have been just, oh my gosh, all the emails I've gotten about this over the past couple of years. It is, yep, it's here. It's the Hercules brushless, cordless, variable speed jigsaw tool only. So what we're looking at here is, your basic quintessential, flagship kind of jigsaw. It's got all the orbital features here that you're going to want. It's got the nice foot on the bottom there. It's got the plastic guide so it doesn't mar the surface that you're working on. It's the standard D-style grip, which is the kind that I prefer. I know some people like the barrel grip, but this is, maybe I'm old school or whatever. That's the one I like. You got a nice dust collection port on the back. And the whole thing is coming in at a price of $79.99. Now, here's the deal with this. This was, when they first launched the series, they came out with a whole bunch of stuff, and everyone's like, where's the jigsaw? And they're like, we're trying to get it right. We want to deliver a jigsaw that's what Hercules should be. And then a few years ago, I showed the Hercules Jigsaw at SEMA, and it didn't look like this. In fact, it didn't look like what they wanted it to look like either, and it didn't perform the way they wanted it to look like, and they pulled it back, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, where is it? And they took the attitude of, it'll be ready when we feel it's ready. And well, it looks like it's ready now. So, I mean, if you go look at this price, you're looking at a brushless jigsaw. You're looking at according to like the rest of the Hercules stuff, it's professional grade. We'll have to wait and see how it performs. But brushless, 20 volt, and has the 5-year warranty. Apples to apples there. You're looking at the M18 with its 5-year warranty. You're looking at $199 for that. Or we've got the DeWalt here coming in at $219. Now, I've not personally used the DeWalt Jigsaw, I've not used the Milwaukee. I've used the DeWalt. I rather like the DeWalt Jigsaw. I think they make great jigsaws. The Milwaukee one I've heard mixed reviews on. It's better than the 12 volt one, which I heard is just terrible. But it's a good solid one. And I haven't heard anybody be like, this is the best jigsaw I've ever used, which I have heard people say about the DeWalt. But at the price difference, $79, 5-year warranty, brushless tool, man, we're gonna have to wait and see how that comes, but you got to be excited about that if you're a Hercules guy. Now let's jump into the rest of this stuff. So next up, we've got this one I've gotten a ton of emails about, and I haven't had to get a chance to get my paws on it, but it's the Bauer 24-inch fence and miter gauge. So of course, the miter or the fence comes off the miter gauge, so you can use it just as a miter gauge. You can put your own wood fence on it, all that kind of stuff. You can use it on, it's clearly designed to work with some of the smaller, table saws that are out there, job site and stuff like that. It's a good looking miter saw. I'm not like super excited about, there's some other versions of miter saws that I like a little bit better, but for $45 though, I don't think you're going to find much better in that price range. And let's keep going because talking about woodworking, how about this? Have you been waiting for the new bandsaw, the 14-inch bandsaw? Oh my gosh, $500. $500. Now, if you guys don't know, now I'm not a woodworker per se. I mean, I work with wood. I've done stuff with wood. I did more when I was younger, and I had the rigid bandsaw. In fact, I rebuilt a rigid bandsaw, and I rebuilt the Grizzly 14-inch, which has always been like the flagship of 14-inch bandsaws, at least at an affordable price. And that affordable price was like $800 to $900. This thing coming in with the new design that everyone else is using. Everyone switched to this design, Grizzly included. $500 at that. It's got a miter, it's got a fence, and look at this. If we look at the back, we'll look at the other pictures on this. Let me pull it up here. So we're looking at, it doesn't have the cast iron wheels, which I think most of them have gone away from the cast iron wheels. I really like the cast iron, but I can't really fault them for that. Basic design here on this side, nice table with the miter saw, or the miter slide and the, I can't talk today, and the fence. But then if we look on the back, and this is what I really want to see here, is we do have the quick release lever up top that allows you to take tension off the saw blade. So it doesn't, if you don't use it for a while, it doesn't conform to that shape and give you a wobble. It's got a nice cord wrap section. It looks, man, look, you even have a space for Allen keys. It looks like a well-made, coming, look at this, with the stand, with wheels, the whole 9 yards. I mean, does this thing come actually with the stand? That would be insane at that price. But, oh my gosh, that is, let's see, look at stationary, has 14 inch smooth ball, adjustable fence, includes miter gauge push sticks, does built-in mobility kit for easy transportation. That's easily another $150 in value in that. I can't believe they're throwing it all in at that price. And, with Harbor Freight's new policy, trying to stay away from all the exclusions, imagine when a 20%, coupon hits. That's going to be flying out the doors. A lot of woodworkers have been waiting for this. This is insane to see them coming in at this level price with this level of equipment. Let's keep going. We got the Central Machinery shop, 12-inch shop press brake attachment. That's going to be very, very specific for those guys doing, sheet metal kind of stuff. Let's keep going here. Next up, we've got, look at this, Icon 800 lumen LED magnetic foldable slim bar light. And we've seen it before in the traditional black. Now it's coming in high-res anodized red. We got blue. And man, it's sure pretty in that green. I don't know which one are you going to go with. Of course, they don't have white to match my cabinets, which is probably a good thing because I'd never be able to find it. But anyway, well, the red looks really good, man. But that green gives it more of a high vis, easy to look around the shop and see it and figure out where I left it. I'm excited about that. $40 is the price on that. We got the new Bauer. This is a 1 1/8 inch SDS Plus type rotary hammer tool only here. Okay, this is in the Bauer brushless, Bauer brushless 20-volt line. So we got a brushless tool. We got a 1 1/8. This is a big boy here for a handheld rotary SDS type hammer there, coming in at a price of $130 on that one. Now let's see what else we got new. We got Quinn. Now you're like, this is a little set. Why is it $220? Because this is actually maybe a small piece set, but this is a big boy set coming in 3/4 inch, not 3/8, 3/4 inch, 21 piece with the ratchet, with the case. You're getting all 6-point, deep sockets here. This is for doing some serious work on some big equipment there, hence the price on that. Then we've got the Pittsburgh, look at this, the 2-in-1 mechanic seat. You got a seat creeper and a regular kind of, rolling creeper there. It's a 2-in-1 for $50. Looks like it has decent padding and stuff on that. You may have to try it out. Let me know what you think of it. And of course, we got to talk about the trailer. The trailer. I got a video. We're working on a video for the trailer, and it's going to be out here sometime in the next week or two. We put it all together. In fact, a lot of people complain, it's got too many bolts. I have to put I'm unlimited mobility. If you saw my health update, blood clot kind of thing, I pretty much have to sit around and do a little of this, a little of that. My 13-year-old has done the vast majority of work in assembling this. If a 13-year-old, and granted, Griffin's a cool kid, and he's pretty crafty and good with his hands. But that said, 13-year-old can do it. It's really sad to see adults whining about it. I mean, if you don't want to do it, fine. Spend the extra, was it $500, $600, sometimes $700 to get the welded one? People are like, well, welds are better. Are they? Have you checked those welds? Have you seen how fast they come out of the factory? I have a carry-on trailer. The welds are nothing to write home about, all right? Anyway, and I've talked to a lot of engineers over the years, and I've had this discussion, are welds better than bolts? And it's kind of like, it depends. It depends on what you're doing, depends on how it's built, how it's engineered, and how good those welds are. Yeah. Anyway, so you're looking at $1,000 on this thing, and it looks like a decent, really modular trailer. That's where this thing really shines is for the people who are looking to make it more than what the base model is. And they've got the ramps out for $100. They've got the ramp holders for $100. They've got the stands. In fact, I just got those in myself. They're for $20. I want to thank Harbor Freight for sending those over. The only thing that isn't out is the top rail set. We can see it in shadow form here. That isn't out yet, but it should be out soon. Now that said, let's talk about some of the clearance stuff. And of course, the first clearance thing we got to talk about is the Hallmaster folding trailer. Now I got to say, if you have limited storage area, this is a dandy little trailer. Folds in half, stands upright. And actually, no, I'm sorry. This isn't the one that stands upright, but you can't fold it so you don't have the full tongue sticking out. I guess you could stand it upright, lean it against a wall or something. Anyway, this is $379.97. Now, just remember this. Clearance price is a suggestion, and it's going to be up to each store manager, all right? This is where it really comes in. I've been saying it for years. You got to be nice to your store managers. Get to know them. Introduce yourself. Say hi every time you come in. Hey, it's so-and-so here. I just want to say hi. Don't take up a ton of their time. They're working a lot, but get to know them. Let them know you're a regular shopper. You spend money there. So when it comes time for something like this, you can be, hey, Steve, buddy, pal, friend of mine, I baked you some cookies. Can you get me a good price on that trailer? Because, I mean, come in. And a lot of times they'll just sit there thinking about it. They're looking at it. It's taking up space. They don't have a ton of stock room. It's not like back in, and I'm 56 almost at this point. And back in the day, stores had huge stock room. I'll go check the back stock. That's not a thing anymore. Everything is just in time. They don't have space to store a bunch of this stuff. They're happy to get it out of there. And if you come in and say, hey, $200, I'll take that off your hand. They're having a good day. That might just happen. All right. It's happened for me for a lot of stuff. You never know. Okay. Anyway, next up, we got the Central Machinery. And don't go and tell them that the bear said you could get it for $200. That's going to be an immediate no. That ain't happening. All right. You gotta work the deal. All right, anyway, we saw the new bandsaw. How about the old bandsaw? This thing, it's not a bad bandsaw. It's built off the same template that they've been making for decades over in Taiwan. And that means you can get the extension for it. There's tons of parts for it. There's tons of aftermarket stuff, tons of things that go with this. You can really upgrade this saw and do all sorts of stuff with it. $350 is the suggested clearance price. Again, you walk in with a couple C notes there, and hey, you might walk home with this thing. Next up, how about this? Pittsburgh 3-ton rapid pump floor jack. This is just your basic jack. None of the long reach, low profile, high reach, or off-road. None of that. Just a good solid floor jack, 3-ton floor jack for $70 basically. That's a great deal right there, especially if there was a parking lot sale that came up and they did that whole, up to 45% off anything that's clearance. If they had one of those sales, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? All right, anyway, let's keep going. Yukon 27-inch cabinet here. Now, this is the only one of the Yukons that I've seen that is currently listed on clearance, but I do know they have been having problems with these. Not with the cabinets themselves. The cabinets are fine. It's with the delivery services because they deliver them and they don't treat them right. And there's always this third party. There's the main guy, and they outsource to like a secondary, and then the third guy who does like the last mile just throws in the back of a pickup truck or something with a bunch of goats or something, and it does a dance on the sheet metal, and it gets there, and people are like, I'm not paying for this, and it's been a real pain in their backside. I do know that. I've talked to lots of store managers and divisional managers who all said the same thing, that they hate dealing with these things because it's such a problem with the deliveries. The quality of the cabinet is fine, and if you can get it for $99 or cheaper, and it's not tinted, that would be a great pickup, all right? Next up, we got the Central Pneumatics nailers. I think we're going to see a bunch of these nailers go on clearance. This 18-gauge nailer here, the 2-in-1, where it does nails and staples, it's an old standby. It's just a great little nailer. I have this nailer. It works flawlessly. The only caveat with this nailer is that because it also does staples, it's got a wider head in it that sinks it, and it can sometimes leave a line indentation in the workpiece. So don't use this on finished stuff. Like if you're going to slap something together and then put some paint on it or something over it, sand it or something, because you can leave some little indentation marks. Although a little drop of water on there can raise that wood back up as well. So remember that. All right, let's keep going. We've got the Central Pneumatic hose reel. This is a decent hose reel. 3/8 inch, 25 foot. It's got a nice frame. It's pretty much the same as the Earthquake as far as the frame. For $40, that's a great price on a hose reel. With the Jackery, I don't care if it is on clearance. I'm not a fan of Jackery. I'm definitely not a fan of the old school version of Jackery. Any of the Jackery products where you see where it has the hard handle on top, the non-folding handle, that means it's using the old school lithium ion batteries, not the LFP batteries, just the standard lithium ion, which is great for a power tool, not great for a power station. All right, I would hard pass on this. I don't care if they're giving away for free. It's just a boat anchor. I don't want it. Now, on the other hand, we got the Ecoflow. Now, this is the Ecoflow Gen 1. But don't let that stop you on this if you get the right price, because of the Gen 1s, this is the only one that's actually using the LFP batteries. Now, that's the ones that have way longer recharge cycles, like the point where it's going to last 10 years or more. It can handle colder weather. It can handle hotter weather. It is just an all-around better battery, and that's the one you want in your power station. In fact, they skipped Gen 2, went straight to Gen 3 with this. I've got the Gen 3. It's sitting right over there. And if I had to buy them, I mean, at this price, I'm not going to buy it because let's be honest. Look at this. This is the same thing over at Best Buy. Right now, it's $2,100. So why am I going to buy this for $25? This is where you go in, you talk to the manager, you're like, I can get this for, how about you drop it down to $1,000? They're going to be like, no, I can't do that. They might come back at $1,500. At $1,500, this is a steal, all right? So again, you got to work those numbers on that. Now, let's keep going here. We got the Hercules. Look at this. The Hercules 2.5 amp hour batteries are going away. Clearance price, $25. $25 for a battery like that is an absolute steal. 3-year warranty on that, the whole 9 yards. Now, I think they're going to be upgrading these to a new design, maybe with new chemistry in the battery. And how about this? The Warrior, this is a 4.5 amp, half-inch, single-speed hammer drill. Now, I've talked about like buy-it-for-life kind of tools, and they're like $100, $150, even $250 when we're talking about these drills. But not everybody needs to spend that kind of money. And for $10, 10 days, pick up 2 or 3 of them. If they die, who cares? This is a good standard, workhorse kind of drill. So remember, and I always say this, listen to your drill, listen to your tools, all right? If they start to, feel like they're losing power, if they start to feel hot, if you see a little bit of the genie smoke coming out of it, maybe it's time for it to take a break, and not a smoke break in this case, all right? Let it cool down, all right? There's grease and stuff in there. If it gets hot, that grease starts to smoke. That's it telling you, hey, dude, I need a rest, all right? And if you do that, these will last a fairly long time. They're a good drill, the good basic drill. And if you can't afford one of the higher end ones, at least get one, maybe 2 or 3 of these, all right? We got, look at this, the Vulcan Pro TIG 165 welder. This will do 120 or 240 input, and it's on sale right now for $500 on clearance, and you can probably get it a little bit lower, hopefully if one of those parking lot sales shows up. Then I got this for my daughter years and years ago. Absolute fun for $30. That's a ton of fun. Go down the local creek, pick up some rocks, throw it in there, and who knows what you're going to see come out. All sorts of stuff you can do with these rock tumblers. You could tumble other things. I think you could probably even put some brass in there. I don't know. I've never tried it, but you could probably do it. Anyway, $29.97 on that. And then we've got this one. Okay, I'm terrified of these things. I'm not afraid to admit it. I've actually seen somebody turn their finger into a pancake with one, and it terrifies me. All right, if you want to watch a guy pass out cold, watch somebody screw up using an English wheel. Because, you got your little digits in there, and where the most of your nerves, right in the ends of your little digits. That thing passes right through that wheel, comes out like a pancake. Whew. Seeing a guy turn off like a light switch. It was terrible to watch. Anyway, and terrible to see afterwards. It's just bad. I don't like them. But it's a very niche market who needs this. And as such, if you are in that niche market, $219, $220, wow, that's a steal on that. Now let's talk parking lot sales. January is when the parking lot sale usually happens. Guess what I haven't heard hide no hair of? That's a January parking lot sale. In fact, somebody even told me that the next parking lot sale is going to be in March. Now, the next parking lot sale should be in March, but there should be a January. It should be every 3 months. It should be in March or April. And I don't know, but I'm going to keep my eye on it. A lot of people going, what's going to happen this weekend or next weekend? If it's going to happen, it's going to happen this weekend or next weekend. So let's keep our eyes peeled. If I tried, I'll try to let everyone know. But usually, if there was going to be one, we would have heard a leak about it by now. So stay tuned. We'll let you know when the next one happens. Until then, that's all the new deals, all the clearance deals. All the information I got on those. We have the trailer video coming out soon, so make sure you've liked and subscribed so you don't miss out on any of the hot new deals or sales or tools or any of that stuff. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.